Welcome back. We are on day 36 with Daily Bread with Lily. Today is day 36 of our Bible in 1 year. We're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 15 through 17 from the New King James Version. These chapters will focus on purity and the sacred power of atonement through the blood and holiness. So let's go ahead and begin. I guess I lost my spot. Chapter 15, 16, and 17. Wonderful. Leviticus chapter 15, the law concerning bodily discharges. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, When a man has a discharge from his body, his discharge is unclean, and this shall be his uncleanliness in the regard to his discharge. Whether his body runs with discharge or his body is stopped up by his discharge, it is his uncleanliness. Every bed is unclean on which he has discharge lies, and everything on which he sits shall be excuse me, shall be unclean. And whoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. He who sits on anything on which he who has a discharge shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. And he who touches the body of him who has discharge shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. If he has the discharge spits on him who is clean, then he shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. Any saddle which he has the discharge rides shall be unclean. Whoever touches anything that was under him shall be unclean until evening. He who carries any of these things shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean evening. And whoever the one who has a discharge touches and has not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. The vessel of earth that he has the discharge touches shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. And when he has a discharge is cleansed of his discharge, then he shall count for himself 7 days for his cleansing, washing his clothes and bathe his body in running water. Then he shall be unclean. On the eighth day, he shall take for himself 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons and come before the Lord to the door of the tabernacle of meeting and give them to the priest. Then the priest shall offer them, the one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering. So the priest shall make atonement for him before the Lord because of his discharge. If any man has emission of semen, then he shall wash all his body in water and be unclean until evening. And any garment and any leather on which there is semen, it shall be washed with water and be unclean until evening. Also, when a woman lies with a man and there is an emission of semen, they shall bathe in water and be unclean until evening. If a woman has a discharge and the discharge from her body is blood, she shall be set apart 7 days. Whoever touches her shall be unclean until evening. Everything that she lies on during her impurity shall be unclean. Also, everything that she sits on shall be unclean. Whoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. And whoever touches anything that she sat on shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. If anything is on her bed or on anything on which she sits, when she touches it, he shall be unclean until evening. And if any man lies with her at all, so that her impurity is on him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and every bed on which he lies on shall be unclean. If a woman has a discharge of blood for many days, other than the time of her customary impurity, or if it runs beyond her usual time of impurity, all the days of her unclean discharge shall be as the days of her customary impurity. She shall be unclean. Every bed on which she lies on the days of her discharge shall be to her as the bed of her impurity, and whatever she sits on shall be unclean, and the uncleanliness of her impurity. Whoever touches those things shall be unclean. He shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. But if he is cleansed of her discharge, then he shall count for herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take for herself 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons, and bring them to the priest to the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then the priest shall offer the one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering, and the priest shall make atonement for her before the Lord for the discharge of her uncleanliness. Thus you shall separate the children of Israel from their uncleanliness, lest they die in their uncleanliness, when they defile my tabernacle that is among them. This is a law for the one who has a discharge, and for him who emits semen and it's unclean thereby, and for her who is indisposed because of her customary impurity, and for the one who has a discharge, either man or woman, and for him who lies with her who is unclean. Leviticus chapter 16, the Day of Atonement. Now the Lord spoke to Moses after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they offered profane fire before the Lord and died. And the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron your brother not to come at just any time into the holy place inside the veil, before the mercy seat which is on the ark, lest they die. For I will appear in the cloud above the mercy seat. Thus Aaron shall come into the holy place with the blood of a young bull as a sin offering, and of a ram as a burnt offering. He shall put the holy tunic, linen tunic, and the linen trousers on his body, and he shall be girded with a linen sash, and the linen turban he shall be attired. These are holy garments, therefore he shall wash his body in water and put them on. And he shall take from the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kinds of goats as a sin offering, and 1 ram as a burnt offering. Aaron shall offer the bull as a sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house. He shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then Aaron shall cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord and the other lot for the scapegoat. And Aaron shall bring the goat on which the Lord's lot fell and offer it as a sin offering. Sorry, left. Oh, here it is. But the goat on which the lot fell to be on the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord, to make atonement upon it, and let it go as a scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring the bull of sin offering, which is for himself, to make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bull as a sin offering, which is for himself. Then he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from the altar before the Lord, with his hands full of sweet incense beaten fine, and bring it inside the veil. He shall put the incense on the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of incense may cover the mercy seat, that is, on the testimony, lest he die. He shall take some of the blood of the bull and sprinkle it with his finger on the mercy seat on the east side. And before the mercy seat he shall sprinkle some of the blood with his finger 7 times. Then he shall kill the goat of the sin offering, in which for the people bring its blood inside the veil, do with the blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the mercy seat before the mercy seat. So he shall make atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanliness of the children of Israel, because of their transgressions, for all their sins. So he shall do for the tabernacle of meeting, which remains among them in the midst of their uncleanliness. Excuse me. Excuse me. I apologize for that. I had to blow my nose. Verse 15, chapter 16. Then they shall kill the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people, bring its blood inside the veil, do with the blood that he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. So he shall make atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanliness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions for all their sins, and so shall there do for the tabernacle of meeting, which remains among them in the midst of their uncleanliness. There shall be no man in the tabernacle of meeting when he goes into to make atonement in the holy place, until he comes out, that he may make atonement for himself, for his household, and for all the assembly of Israel. And he shall go out into the altar that is before the Lord and make atonement for it. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull and put some on the blood of the goat and put it on the horn and the altar all around. Then he shall sprinkle some blood on it and put his fingers 7 times, cleanse it, and consecrate it from the uncleanliness of the children of Israel. And when he has made an end of atoning for the holy place, the tabernacle of meeting, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, confess over it all the iniquities of the children and their transgressions concerning their sins, putting them on the head of the goat, and shall send it away in the wilderness by hand of the suitable man. The goat shall bear on itself all their iniquities to an uninhabited land, and he shall be released to the goat into the wilderness. Then Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of meeting, take off the linen garments which he had put on them, and he went into the holy place and shall leave them there. And he shall wash his body with water in a holy place, put on his garments, come out and offer his burnt offering and burnt offering of the people to make atonement for himself and for the people. The fat of the sin offering he shall burn on the altar. And he who released a goat as a scapegoat shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterwards he may come into the camp. The bull for the sin offering and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall be carried out the camp, and they shall burn in the fire their skins, their flesh, and their offal. Then he who burns them shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into the camp. This shall be a statute forever for you. In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls and do no work at all, whether a native of your own country or a stranger who dwells among you. For on that day the priest shall make atonement for you to cleanse you, that you may be clean from all your sins before the Lord. It is a Sabbath of solemn rest for you, and you shall afflict your souls. It is a statute forever. And the priest who is anointed and consecrated to minister as a priest in his father's place shall make atonement and make on the linen clothes and the holy garments. Then he shall make atonement for the holy sanctuary and make atonement for the tabernacle of meeting for the altar, and he shall make atonement for the priests and the people of the assembly. This shall be an everlasting statute to you, to make atonement for the children of Israel for all their sins once a year. And he did as the Lord commanded Moses. Chapter 17. The sanctity of blood. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron, to his sons, and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, This is a thing which the Lord had commanded, saying, Whatever a man of the house of Israel who kills an onyx or lamb or goat in the camp, who kills it outside the camp and does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle of meeting to offer an offering to the Lord before the tabernacle of the Lord, the guilt of bloodshed shall be imputed to that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from his people, to the end of the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices, which they offer in the open field, that they may bring them to the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of meeting to the priest, and offer them as peace offerings to the Lord. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood on the altar of the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of meeting, and burn the fat for the sweet aroma of the Lord. They shall no more offer their sacrifices to demons, after whom they have played the harlot. This shall be a statute forever for them throughout their generations. Also you shall say to them, Whatever man of the house of Israel or of the strangers who dwell among you, who offers a burnt offering of sacrifice, and does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle of meeting to offer it to the Lord, that man shall be cut off from among his people. And whatever man of the house of Israel or of strangers who dwell among you who eats any blood, I will set my face against that person who eats blood, and will cut him off from his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the soul. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, No one among you shall eat blood, nor any stranger who dwells among you eat blood. Whatever man of children of Israel or of strangers who dwell among you who hunts and catches any animal or bird that may be eaten, he shall pour out his blood and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh. Its blood sustains its life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, you shall not eat the blood of any flesh. For the blood of all flesh is its blood. However, whoever eats of it shall be cut off. And every person who eats what died naturally or what was torn by beasts, whether he is a native of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. But if he does not wash them or bathe his body, then he shall bear his guilt. Well, these chapters remind us that God is deeply concerned with holiness and purity, and both physical and spiritual. Day of Atonement is one of the most powerful moments in Scripture where the high priest makes sacrifices for all of Israel's sins, symbolizing reconciliation with God. All right, subscribe and join me tomorrow as we read chapters 18, 19, and 20. Have a great day.